What's up, guys? I've got an extremely exciting video today. Not only is Great League returned, but yes, as the title may have spoiled, this is my legend run. A lot of familiar faces on this team. Different, I guess, a unique combination of them this time around. But before we get into the video, huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Could not be doing this without you guys. Thank you so much. But yeah, let's get right into this gameplay video. Alright. So the team here, we have Shadow Abomasnow, Jellicent, and Castform Rainy. You've seen Shadow Abomasnow, Jellicent, Azu. You've seen Shadow Abomasnow, Azu, Castform Rainy, but you've never seen them in this order. Mainly because Azu's banned this time, and it's probably the best pair for Shadow Abomasnow. But let's talk a little bit about the team. It's very obvious an ABB team. You really want to be switching out of neutral leads. In the first half of this video, I did start switching into Jellicent, so that's why they're on this order on the right-hand side. But by the last half of the video, I did find that switching into Castform Rainy actually performed a little bit better. So, despite looking at the side and seeing Jellicent in the middle, I would be safe swapping Castform Rainy most of the time. A lot of teams just don't have an answer for it. It's honestly the MVP of this team by far. It just is able to take down so much in this meta. But yeah. So Shadow Abomasnow obviously packs the hardest punch. You want to be storing energy on it and tanking a lot of hits with Jellicent and Castform Rainy. Let's take a look at movesets. Shadow Abomasnow standard, Castform Rainy obviously standard. But we've got Jellicent. Look at this. We've got Bubble on Jellicent. You can argue with me all you want. Honestly, I think Bubble is the best move for Jellicent in Remix by far, and I think it's gaining traction in Open Great League as well. But in Remix, so the main thing here is the common Pokemon like Diggersby, Mandibuzz, Obstagoon, any of the dark types, Lickitung as well. Bubble just performs way better. We're not running Bubble Beam because we aren't wusses. We are going straight for the nukes every time. Ice Beam comes in really handy. You'll see a couple of times, especially versus things like Obstagoon and Mandibuzz. So, for example, something like Air Slash Mandibuzz doesn't really counter Jellicent anymore if it's got Bubble Ice Beam, and same thing with Obstagoon. So, let's get into the games. Here in Ariados lead, this is obviously not good. We're going to switch right away, see what they want to do. I expected to see a lunge debuff here and come with whatever, but they actually have an extremely hard counter to start with, the Lantern, so that's why they decided to swap a little bit late and store that energy on their Ariados. The problem with switching that late is, well, the sparks don't add up to a KO here, so we're going to be able to get a Shadow Ball off and either force a shield or potentially take back switch, or yeah, there we go, force a shield. And Lantern can't really do too much to Abomasnow, so what we're going to do is just charge up an absolute ton. I know I'm going to be tanking one Thunderbolt at the very least here, or Hydro Pump, and then we're going to start farming up a little bit more. And right before we get to that second Thunderbolt, I'm going to throw the Energy Ball to KO. I probably could have farmed a little bit more, and that might have been the better play. But I know this Ariados is coming back in. I'm gonna have to shield if I want to get off my Weather Ball, which I do. And the Cross Poison, luckily doesn't nerf my damage, but it is the cheaper move for Ariados. So we're gonna get right into that Rainy Castform. This time I'm sure it'll be a lunge, but the fact that they didn't switch right away is a good sign. And the thing is, there's just a huge absence of grass types in the Remix meta right now, and I don't really know why. But there's almost no grass types, so this actually gives an opportunity here for Rainy Castform to really shine. And you can see even this Rainy Castform, it did have a pretty big health advantage, but the thing is it was very far behind on energy, and I stop attacking there so that my Rainy Castform goes down because I want to get some farm on my Abomasnow. But yeah, unfortunately it's gonna be close. It's gonna come right down to the wire, and Abomasnow is gonna be able to take this. So because I stopped attacking on my Rainy Castform, I was able to get a little bit of extra farm, although it didn't end up mattering in that case because I ended up just powder snowing them down. So guess that was needlessly risky. Anyways, easy win. Okay, Froslass lead. This is by far the hardest one to deal with. In this case, I actually do go into Jellicent, and I would still go into Jellicent. I tried no shielding the first one. You do live it, so you can get a Shadow Ball off and win shield advantage. The problem is the switch timer isn't worn out long enough, so they can kind of abuse that. So that's why I shield the first one there. The second one, I'm just going to no shield it. Obviously it's Shadow Ball. Froslass players do not need to bait to win this matchup, but sometimes they do and lose the matchup. So I've started no shielding that a little bit more. In comes Castform Rainy, so that's what I did. We stalled the switch clock long enough that they're forced to do something silly. I'm gonna throw the Weather Ball here. Oh, I remember this game. This was not well played. So I throw the Weather Ball, get the bait, and I decided to switch out because I didn't want my Abomasnow against the Froslass later. Kind of forgot that Mantine also packing Ice Beam, so dealing quite a bit of damage to my Abomasnow. Throw the Weather Ball because I assumed I could get to another one. But I can't quite. So a little bit of a misplay for me here. I should have stayed with Castform Rainy, just thrown that that Thunder. It's not like the Mantine can hurt my Castform Rainy, and I can switch out of the Bubble Beam to clear the debuff. But instead I needlessly sack this Abomasnow essentially. Just kidding, Abomasnow at 2% HP. Still going to take out the Froslass, and we're going to have to see what's in the back. It is a Whiscash, so this still does give me an opportunity to win the game. So even with the Froslass lead, usually what comes with Froslass are these water types, and Jellicent and Castform are probably as good as it gets as far as water types taking down other water types. So Jellicent has a pretty good matchup versus Whiscash. Castform also a great matchup versus Whiscash. In this case, I might actually get taken down by Mud Bomb. Yeah. And they'll be at a second Mud Bomb, I think. Yeah, 1 HP. Ivies, they matter. My opponent is going to be able to live that by just a little bit with that Whiscash. We're going to lose that one. But pretty big misplay on my part, I think. Just staying in and taking out the Mantine would have been the best play, I think. All right, Registeel lead. Obviously not a good lead. Let's get out of there. I'm going to go straight into Rainy Castform because Jellicent is the better answer. And we're just going to throw some Weather Balls at this Hypno. Oh, I remember this. So it's regular Hypno. Regular Hypno is kind of a problem. It lives a little bit too long. And these Thunder Punches deal an absolute ton of damage. The other problem here is I need to line up my Registeel. Sorry. My Jellicent with their Registeel. Yeah, so in this case, I do end up double shielding here. A bit unfortunate, but I think it was the best play, as obviously my Rainy would have been taken down otherwise. And in comes Obstagoon. So this is honestly the best place I could see the Obstagoon. And you might look at the team and say, wow, this team is really weak to Obstagoon. But Jellicent performs better than you'd think, and I think so does Abomasnow. So you'll see that it is a team effort to take it down sometimes. But like this Abomasnow is already in the yellow. We're going to bring in this Obstagoon is already in the yellow. I'm going to bring in my Abomasnow because it already has energy. And we're just trying to soak that up. Our Jellicent is the MVP of our team. So we are saving our 0 shields for that Jellicent. And just trying to tank all that energy on Abomasnow so that I can come in with the Jellicent and hopefully get a nice little farm down. Unfortunately, with a shield up, even at this range, Jellicent can't beat Registeel. But this game was pretty tough. Having to spend 2 shields on the switch for Castform ready to win something is a bit too hard of a counter. I didn't think that the Hypno matchup was that good, but it is. I think the Shadow Hypno matchup is a little bit better. If it were Shadow Hypno, this game would actually be winnable, potentially. But like I said, this Registeel not even close to going down. That Goon had a little bit of HP too, and they're gonna be able to take down a poor little Jellicent. Well, but we'll see what we grab in the next battle here. Actually, on the day I played these sets, every set was more wins than the previous one. For all 5 sets, that was pretty interesting. So in this case, we have Probopass switching into Victory Bell. It looks like it's a Grass Hole, so how does double water beat double grass? Well, there you go. You throw the Ice Beam. People are not expecting the Ice Beam. I feel like it might have been a misclick to go into the Victory Bell if they're actually holding the Sableye in the back, but this is a great farm for Sableye. Unfortunately for them, though, I can just line up my Abomasnow with the Sableye and have Rainy Castform for Probopass in the back. Rainy Castform not as good versus Probo as it is versus Bastion. Probo does have Spark sometimes, so we'll see what this Probo is running. Although I'm pretty sure we did see at the beginning, I think it was Spark. But they let that through. At this point, I don't need to protect my Abomasnow anymore. I can let whatever through, and we're going to switch to Rainy Castform to start the farm, and they have the same idea. But Rainy Castform, even though it's not as good versus Probopass, still pretty good. As long as it doesn't land a Thunderbolt, Rainy Castform is completely fine. So we're just going to shield the first move. and see what they're at. And the second move is probably not a Thunderbolt at this point. It's going to be another Rock Slide or Magnet Bomb, but you don't Magnet Bomb a Castform, so going to be able to win that game as well. I think take this set 3-2, I believe. Yeah, there's a nice little 3, and you can see we're up to 28.97. 2 sets left in the day. It's a lot of points to gain to hit Legend, but yeah, well, I don't know. Who knows if it'll happen. Here we have a Mantine lead. They switch right away into Nidoqueen. I'm going to throw the Weather Ball right away. I want to burn that shield. This matchup is slightly Shadow Abomasnow favored, but Nidoqueen can farm you down afterwards. I would say it's a wash. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shield the Poison Fang, and then we're going to switch out. So the thing is, I actually have 2 good Nidoqueen counters in the back, but I do want to kind of get it lower and burn or get that shield down before switching, and make sure that my Pokemon that's switching is not getting debuffed by Poison Fang right away. So in this case, they go for the Poison Fang bait. Doesn't really matter too much to me, except for the second Poison Fang might deal a little bit too much damage, but I decide to chance it, and Castform is going to be able to take down Nidoqueen without spending a shield. Here we go with another Weather Ball into whatever comes in. That's a Drapion. Saw a lot of Drapion on day 1. Did not see too many Drapion day 2. And obviously Drapion looks like a bit of a core breaker, right? It's a Poison Dark type for Jellicent versus, or Jellicent and Abomasnow. But honestly, it's kind of squishy and doesn't really do too much. Yeah, I don't know who made a video about Drapion, but I really don't think it's that good. I really think it's a bit overhyped. And I think a lot of people who played day 1 were not playing it day 2, and I think that speaks volumes. So we have the Mantine in the back, and Mantine is a Pokemon I think is pretty good in Remix too. But with Wing Attack, not Bubble. But yeah, Jellicent very hard counter to Mantine, so my opponent will save me a little bit of time and top left that one. So Shadow Abomasnow mirror some other enlightened players running Shadow Abomasnow. Here, the goal is to try and get fast move denial off when they don't. And if you fail it, then you got to try and catch the forced Weather Ball throw. So in this case, I got fast move denial off, and then we CMP tied on the second one. So technically, I still have a chance to sneak through my move. So we'll see when they throw their next move, and they do, and I sneak through. I know at this point, it is likely that they're going to switch right away, and they do. But I still have to throw my Weather Ball, because if I don't, they can throw their Weather Ball. Luckily, they switched to Mantine. I'm going to farm up to a Weather Ball and then switch into my own Jellicent. I wanted to have that Weather Ball ready to be able to snipe that Abomasnow if it comes in on something else. But Jellicent has a pretty good matchup versus Mantine. It's just going to have to eat a bunch of Bubble Beams. I think they're trying to soften up my Jellicent for the Abomasnow to come farm or something like that. So I decided to throw the Shadow Ball before it is too late and I get Bubble Beamed again. But unfortunately, I'm just going to end up eating another Bubble Beam. They come in with the Weather Ball, which is a very interesting play, so I farm up even more. And they're going to throw another Weather Ball. So this is why I don't throw a Weather Ball. Just keep farming. Otherwise, I'm going to let my Jellicent get an absolute ton of farm. My Jellicent has almost 2 Shadow Balls now. I have this Weather Ball saved, so we're going to go back into the Abomasnow. Snipe their Abomasnow. See what comes in. What could this be? Mantine comes in and throws its move right away to take out my Abomasnow. And I'm going to come in with Rainy Castform. Oh my god. I should have waited the timer. I did not realize this Mantine had this much energy. That is a lot of Bubble Beams. And in comes Jellicent itself. So this is pretty tough. But what I do need to get to is Thunder. And Thunder will deal half, and my Jellicent's Shadow Ball should be able to deal half. The worry here is that a Bubble Beam will KO my own Jellicent, so they can store a Shadow Ball and a Bubble Beam and win CMP. But I think that's not the case. Oh my god, I just realized my IVs are wrong in the graphic. So the IVs are definitely wrong in that graphic. I'll put the correct IVs in the video description. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, that's none of those are correct IVs. That's the IVs for my next video. I don't know why it got put in there. Okay, so if you guys wanted a little bit of an intermission, a little bit of a break, here we are. It's a Chansey lead. What a disaster. This thing is so tanky. This thing is so tanky. So I'm going to swap into Jellicent, actually. I realize these pounds are kind of adding up. I don't want to tank a Hyper Beam on Abomasnow. I don't know the count, so I just swapped to Jellicent. And there's a Dazzling Gleam. Look, this Chansey taking no damage. I've got Bubble and Ice Beam just hitting it. I had an Energy Ball. I went for the defense drop on it. I don't know. I feel like this is an entire battle's length of time to take down this Chansey. Yeah, what a bit of a disaster. At this point, my switch timer is almost up again, so I see an opportunity to take out this Chansey with all of its energy remaining. So we're going to switch it back into Abomasnow, get to this Weather Ball. I feel like it's got 100 energy or something like that. And we're able to take out that Chansey with not too much damage to the rest of the team. Problem here is this Machamp is going to come in on my locked-in Abomasnow. So it was a bit of a risky play, but I'm able to grab a shield back with Weather Ball before I get farmed all the way down. Obviously, Jellicent is probably the best Pokemon to bring back into this loaded Machamp. It has to throw a Rock Slide if it wants to do anything. But the fast move pressure on this team is quite low. So it's tough to take this Machamp down with shields up. So they're going to go all in their Machamp. I decide to no shield this one. It is a Rock Slide, and we're going to switch to Rainy Castform and kind of get this ball rolling. And guess what? It is an ABA team with Diggersby in the back, and Castform really loves to see Diggersby, so we'll see how this goes. I'm not going to shield, because if this Machamp gets a cross shot, it's going to deal a ton of damage. Unfortunately, they actually did go for the move. I expected the bait, and they get the Earthquake off, but Castform Rainy should have enough HP to be able to take down this Machamp. Yeah. And Jellicent, well no, Jellicent did not have enough HP to deal with anything, even a counter, I don't think, at the end there. But there's another win for this team, and I'm not sure if that's a favorable lead. I feel like it's not, because Chansey's just such a monster, but... Alright, Shadow Poliwrath, this is tough, too. The best answer is obviously Jellicent, so I really should have swapped into my Rainy Castform. This was a mistake, and I think this is the game where I learned, hey, Rainy Castform is a better save swap in this meta than I originally thought. So in the future, I should be switching Rainy Castform. In this case, I'm obviously locked into that bad matchup. We're not going to shield at all. Dynamic Punch will one-shot anyways, so I have a little bit of an energy lead. Time to maybe throw some energy balls at this Poliwrath. Actually go straight for it. I probably should have baited since there's two shields up, but it is what it is. If they call that kind of bait, it's a disaster. And they throw what I'm assuming is an Ice Punch because they don't need a Dynamic Punch at this point. Take out my Abomasnow. There's no point shielding because I don't outpace. And I kind of have to hope that my Rainy Castform can take out the last two Pokemon. So let's go Rainy Castform, shielding Dynamic Punches. Problem is, Rainy Castform charges quite slow, as Poliwrath is going to get to so many Dynamic Punches before Rainy Castform is able to get to a Thunder. They actually switch to Diggersby, so I am able to react in time and throw the Weather Ball instead. I'm going to throw another Weather Ball here. But losing all my energy is not too great either. And funnily enough, 2 Weather Balls is enough to prevent the Diggersby from throwing an Earthquake. In this case, I do go for the bait, and I'm not 100% sure it is a bait. Whew. Yeah, see, that's how much damage Dynamic Punch from Shadow Poliwrath does on a neutral target. Rainy Castform is pretty tanky. Yeah. Even, one turn away from getting to that move. I'm not sure it would have KO'd Shadow Poliwrath, but even this loss in this set is incredibly close. Next game versus Pepsi himself. We have a Nidoqueen lead, so same thing as before. I'm just going to throw a Weather Ball right away. And we're going to CMP tie. Going to shield up that Poison Fang, and we're going to switch out to Rainy Castform. You can see I swapped the... where Rainy Castform and Jellicent are on my bars after that game. Because I want to be safe swapping the Rainy Castform. And look what happened. This is exactly what would have happened last game. You swap in Rainy, people actually swap in Sableye. It's pretty crazy. I'm going to shield because I want to keep switch. Ow, sorry. And I'm going to throw Weather Ball here, just because I really do want to keep switch. And they shield and are able to get to their move. So... unfortunately, Rainy Castform is going to live and still be able to take them down in the one shield, and guaranteeing switch advantage is pretty important here because getting my my Jellicent on their Nidoqueen is a very big deal. Obscune comes in, but now it's not so big of a deal. This is a little bit of a scary situation. We're going to go in with Jellicent here because Jellicent versus Obscune is not bad. You guys are listening to me like I'm a crazy person, but it's honestly not bad. The goal here, throw the Ice Beam. And I want to switch out right away, because I want that energy lead on the Nidoqueen so I can take it out before it gets to another Poison Fang. And I'm going to throw the Weather Ball, and obviously this is going to take out the Nidoqueen, super effective, and Abomasnow is going to be able to take out the Obstagoon as well. So Obstagoon in the back, Rainy Castform as the safe switch means that the rest of the team's weak to Obstagoon, but honestly, it's not that weak to Obstagoon. It's not, like, counter's not stab for Obstagoon, so it doesn't do as much damage as people think. Abomasnow and Jellicent combined to take it down. Alright, Golbat lead. Love to see it. But they're going to go right into Machamp, and I'm going to go right into Jellicent. So this one's a bit of an interesting matchup. You can definitely let a Rock Slide through, but not too much more than that. And then after that, they might start baiting with Cross Chops. But either way, if you just spend shields, you should be able to win this in the 2 shields regardless. Most people will not even shield. I probably should have charged up much more on the Machamp. I just got a little bit distracted. In comes Golbat. And I decide to try and throw the Shadow Ball because it'll KO anyways, and I wanted to hide that I have Bubble Beam. But it doesn't matter. They throw the Shadow Ball to KO me. And in comes Obstagoon at the back. Once again, a lot of Obstagoon on day 1. Not as many on day 2, but still a fair amount. And this Obstagoon gets the boost. Are you kidding me, Obstagoon? So obviously the shields are going to come out here on this Goon. Obstagoon is trying to take down this Rainy Castform, which is auto attacks now that it's boosted. Spends its second shield there on Weather Ball. But the problem is, my Abomasnow is 1 away from another Weather Ball too. So I'm going to be able to... I'm going to shield that, and I'm going to have to farm up a little bit so this Golbat doesn't reach a move. So we're going to farm up 1 more, because the Golbat's at 1 as well. And we're going to get to that Weather Ball just before. Or just at the same time, I believe. Sorry, I think the Golbat was at 2. And we're going to be able to win this one as well. So Obstagoon boosted with 2 shields remaining and full HP. You think that's kind of scary against a team that's bad against Obstagoon? Well, maybe the team's not so bad against Obstagoon. Maybe not as bad as people think. Bubble and Ice Beam is a very good moveset for that. Alright, we have the Sableye in the lead. This is perfect. So with the Sableye in the lead, that usually means my Jellicent in the back is quite safe. So obviously you want to stay in with the Abomasnow here and win this matchup. They let through the first move. So I actually think I tried to catch the foul play there. But instead, I'm going to shield once and switch to Rainy and farm down. Probably should have stayed in with Abomasnow to farm down, but it is what it is. In comes Beedrill. This is a really good sign. So when I started switching Rainy, you start seeing all the weirdest stuff in the back come out. And when you're leading Abomasnow and your safe switch draws out a Beedrill, that means they have nothing in the back for a water type. Nothing. So drawing out this Beedrill is a big deal. Yeah, and they let it get low too. So I have to make a choice here. I come in with the Jellicent, and I was right. It was not good against water in the back, but it's good against Jellicent. It is Drapion here. So Drapion, Poison super effective against Abomasnow, Dark is super effective against Jellicent. Once again, you'd think it would be a core breaker, but Abomasnow and Jellicent are just so powerful in neutral matchups. I'm okay, no shielding this one now. Jellicent has Bubble, not Hex. So we're going to be able to take this Drapion down. I'm going to spend a shield on Crunch for sure. And throw the Ice Beam right away. Get rid of this Drapion. Don't want it getting to another Crunch. That's the lost condition there. As my opponent GG's out. They know that there is no shot at the back there. Their Beedrill is much too low and can't really deal any big damage to Jellicent. Alright, next game against Rocha Babyface. We have Jellicent lead. In comes Nidoqueen. We're going to play this the same way we always have. And there it is. Nidoqueen shielding. Rocha actually stays in a lot longer than most Nidoqueens. So they do have a bit of residual energy, which is going to make this switch a little bit harder. But at the same time, if they throw in Earth Power, I don't have a shield. I should still be able to live it and farm all the way down on this Nidoqueen. The Jellicent should come in, but this means that Castform has already farmed and is in Thunder range. So we can get this Thunder off, deals an absolute ton of damage to this Jellicent, and a Weather Ball off too. Rainy Castform is just so good. It's so tanky. And unfortunately not able to take it out, but I will have to switch into one of my Pokemon to kind of sacrifice it or tank something else. Guess what? Obstagoon in the back. Wait, how many games of Obstagoon is in a row is this? I thought this countered the whole team remaining. Well, let's take a look. Threw a Weather Ball to grab a shield off the Obstagoon. There. Switching to Jellicent, and they got the boost. So 2 boosted Obstagoons in this set here. Lots of fun for sure. We're gonna shield this second Night Slash. So this matchup normally you can survive 2 Night Slashes, barely, I think, without the boost. But with the boost you can't. So that's why this matchup got quite a bit closer. Unfortunately, their Jellicent is loaded, so hopefully they're running just Shadow Ball, Ice Beam, and Abomasnow should be able to just take them down at the end there. So, all right, so Obstagoon count 3, Boostagoon count 2 in the final set here. And we have 3 wins. So, team's doing something right. That's for sure. All right, we got Jellicent in the lead here yet again. And they're going to swap onto Wigglytuff. So, Wigglytuff, a bit of an interesting Pokemon. I don't really have a good counter for it. So, if I want to keep switch advantage versus a Charmer, I'm going to have to throw some charge moves on Abomasnow before switching. So we grab the shield and then go into Rainy Castform and just pressure this Wigglytuff down. You can go for the Weather Ball. I don't want to have to shield a Poliwrath or tank a Poliwrath. So we're able to grab switch and shield advantage by using a combination of Abomasnow and Rainy Castform. And of course the Jellicent comes back in. But this matchup is not as good for Jellicent as they might think. My opponent actually is counting Water Guns somehow. They throw right before the Thunder. And they farmed up quite a bit extra. So, in this case, I will be shielding. And it is Double Charm. Jellicent Double Charm. I can't even believe it. I'm going to switch into my own Jellicent. This is a bit of a tough scenario now. I really have to be playing the end game here. So my win condition is getting an Energy Ball into this Jellicent or a Shadow Ball into this Jellicent. After they throw this move, I shield it up even though it's just a Meteor Mash. I want to be able to race their Jellicent to a Shadow Ball, and I think I can make it. If I don't, at least the Jellicent will be forced to throw all of its energy, and I shouldn't have an issue taking it down with my Abomasnow just after that. Because I should be able to beat it to a Shadow Ball. Or my ball should come first. I should be able to get that Energy Ball before it gets to the Shadow Ball. And then we have the last game here. Looks like I forgot to cut out the queue times. This is kind of an example of what you might be seeing around the Legend area right now. We got a Froslass lead. We're going to switch right to Rainy. You're like, wait, but Rainy's your best answer. I said I was going to commit to Rainy as a safe switch for this set, so switch our best answer into Froslass, and guess what? They actually stay in. So this is the moment I learned truly. A lot of teams are not prepared for Rainy Castform at all. We're going to shield the Shadow Ball. Like, if they're not switching out of Froslass into Rainy, you should shield. You should protect your Rainy because Rainy is going to go on an absolute tear. They swap in their Whiscash at this point. This matchup is Rainy favored, but it's not bad for Whiscash. But I think they're just trying to sack the Whiscash. They know that Abomasnow is pretty good against it. What I should have done here is probably switch into my own Abomasnow. I think I was just waiting for a Mud Bomb to go out first, and I didn't want to eat a Blizzard. So now I switch into Abomasnow, catch the second Mud Bomb, and farm this thing all the way down. In comes Froslass. That's a lot of energy going to waste if I don't shield, so I'm going to shield up. At this point, I do think a Weather Ball might be enough to KO. Not KO, but low enough that I can farm it down afterwards. So we're just going to get to another Weather Ball, throw it straight away too, and hope that we can take this Froslass out. Yeah, 2 more Powder Snows are enough. Abomasnow, Shadow Abomasnow. We're not going to see what's in the back, but wait. 3 Obstagoons in the back, 2 Boostagoons, and that's 5-0. And yeah, there's Legend. There's Legend too. Very excited to hit Legend in Great League, like I said before, or on stream. I didn't really want to hit it on an Element Cup at all. Just because, I don't know, I wanted to share this moment with you guys. No one watches Element Cup videos. Great League will forever be the GOAT. So once again, glad I got to Legend this season yet again, and very happy to get there with another Abomasnow Castform team. I love using Castform, love using Abomasnow, what can I say? But yeah, so that's the video. I'll put my socials in the description along with the correct IVs, if I remember. And as always, thanks for watching.